I think silver will go ballistic like it pretty much always does. It's underperforming considering gold right now, but once the trend takes place, silver dramatically outperforms gold percentage wise. So they both kind of have play their role. Gold is that slow moving global defensive play that people buy gold and they just kind of hold on to it. Silver is a lot more volatile, and people actively trade it, and there's less volume and liquidity, so it moves around a lot faster. I like them both, and I think, silver, as you mentioned, has been selling off the last 3 months. It has been moving down, but it's holding its ground. It's right at a very critical level where it's found support before, key moving averages, and I think we could see a push up to maybe $30, $32 an ounce over the next few months.
Most precious metals analysts and popular investors believe we are on the verge of a pronounced bull market for gold, silver, and possibly even other metals and commodities. According to the macro and technical analysis we've seen over the past few months, these expert analysts are predicting a severe economic decline in major economies across the globe. Some have described the impending economic downturn as a recession, some call it a depression, and many have predicted that it would be worse than the 2008 financial crisis. While many of these analysts don't agree on the intensity or even duration of the impending crisis, they do agree that it will be great for precious metals like gold and silver. Many have argued that the coming crisis will be caused by the constant currency devaluation caused by central banks printing again and again to pay off their massive debts and debt expenses. Though the devaluation of fiat currencies like the US dollar has been ongoing for decades, many people are just catching on that it will have dire consequences and that we may be at the end of the road. Now we have more iconic billionaire investors like Ray Dalio and Bill Ackman talking about the impending collapse. As a result, investors are waking up to the reality and quickly taking shelter in gold and other safe haven metals. According to Vermeulen, a popular technical analyst and trader, more investors, including larger investors like money managers, pension funds, and family offices, will be rushing toward precious metals when the next crisis hits. Chris is certain that when that happens, gold prices will rise quickly and could even go over $2,300 per ounce and silver above $30 before year-end. We will now bring you clips from Chris's recent interview with Liberty and Finance. Please watch, share, and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your comments in the comment section below. Thanks, and enjoy the video.
If we take a look at gold, we can see gold has been in this pretty major cycle to the upsides since 2019. And really, it's testing and flirting with breaking to new highs. We are in this type of scenario right now, very similar to what we saw just before the 2008 stock market crisis, the financial reset, where gold had about a 34% pullback. And right now, we're really in this section right here where we had a multi-year kind of pause just before the stock market topped. And what we see time and time again is we see precious metals rally up just before or as the stock market is topping, and it becomes one of the leading safe defensive plays for investors. And so we've already seen a push up, and we are flirting with having another run up. In fact, the short-term chart is pointing to about $2,360 for gold over the next couple of months or a few months. And that is, to me, if we see that happen, that probably means the stock market is either topping or it is having one final push, an exhaustion move to the upside. Because what happens is typically just before a trend reverses, we tend to see some of the biggest moves take place, which we saw back over here in 2011 for gold. But this is the same for pretty much all assets. Just before a major trend ends, we see like a huge move up, a blow off top, and then we see price reverse. So I think the stock market could actually have that blow off top in the next month or over the next few months going into May. And I think gold could rally with that. And then we're probably going to see the stock market correct. It'll pull gold and silver down with it. But, if we zoom in just to this daily chart of gold, so I can show you how I'm coming up with this short-term price pattern. If we just look at gold in this recent rally and this pause, this is a pennant formation known as a halfway move. So this move up, is considered the halfway point, and then it's going to have another leg higher. So using Fibonacci extensions, we can take the low to the high and then down to this low and carry that forward. And that shows us where this move, this momentum from this low to this high should carry through, which is around the $2,316 mark. So that is pretty exciting. This could be a multi-month move. and one final push here higher before I think maybe gold hits a little bit of a rough patch because of potential a bear market in equities, which creates forced liquidation and selling even of defensive plays like gold temporarily. So that's kind of my view on gold. Yeah, when we look at silver, you look at this daily chart. I mean, it's pretty much just sideways, really choppy. It really is, in my opinion, it's a nightmare to trade. It is really volatile. It's trendless. The best thing probably be just to sell right options, sell options on it, and just collect premiums. It is building a base and a launch pad. When we look at the big monthly chart, like gold, while it's not trading up near all-time highs like gold, silver has carved out a rounding bottom. It's had an initial pop and breakout in 2019, 2020. It really started to pop and break out. And it's flagging sideways here. And it is really just got to put it in its time. I think we could see silver run up and have a push higher, maybe back up to around $30 an ounce. Again, it's very similar to what we saw just before the last stock market correction. We see gold, silver rally up, and then they can pull back with the sell-off in the stock market. So I am fairly bullish on precious metals for the next few months, but then I am a little bit bearish because I think they're going to pause and pull back for that one last opportunity before I think we go into a multi-year rally.
During this multi-year rally that Chris is predicting, he expects gold and silver prices to perform excellently in 2024 and beyond. Though he is significantly bullish on gold, he is more bullish on silver. In his words, silver prices will go ballistic in 2024. Chris expects silver to rise to at least $30 before the year ends. Chris's prediction supports the latest silver prediction from the Silver Institute. The Global Silver Organization also expects silver to outperform significantly in 2024. According to the Institute's latest report, the current economic setup in the United States, as well as in other countries, is perfect for silver to outperform. During the interview, Chris speaks further about an impending 50% correction in the stock market and how it could impact gold and silver prices.
We saw the stock market do exactly what it does on average every year. And if we go back to last year's price action, we tend to see the stock market rally up through the beginning of the year. It usually tops out June, July. It usually pulls back into October. And then we see it start to rally and have that big push up. This is the seasonality. If anybody pulls up a seasonality chart of the SP 500, that is how the market moves. And so right now we are in this phase here where the market could rally up into May, June this year. And so I think we're trading at all-time highs with the SP 500. And I think this could continue to push up. And I think it could pick up speed a lot because based on my sentiment indicators and the volume flows going on, believe it or not, we are seeing a lot of people shorting this market. And even though people are shorting it, it's still going higher. And when we have this massive disconnect, like the level we're seeing right now, the market's going to want to keep going higher and higher and apply maximum pain. And it creates a big pop in equities. And we might see this big rally for another couple of months take place and then eventually top out and it'll pull everything down with it. So, in the grand scheme of things, I'm bullish on the stock market, precious metals for the next couple of months at this point. And then I think we're going to go into a little bit more difficult time. Early last year, I was looking for about a 30% pullback or so, but we were also down about 25%. So now that we're back up near these at the highs here, I think we could see like a 50% correction in the market. I mean, we've seen it happen multiple times before. The NASDAQ sold off like over 80% in the 2001. So there could be a big unwinding event. It could be very big. And there's a lot of things setting up similar to the 2000 tech bubble burst. I think we're starting a major super cycle for commodities. And we saw a multi-year correction in the stock markets after the 2001 crash. It took like 16 years for the NASDAQ to come back. And while I think, yes, the buy and hold is a no-brainer long-term if you got 20, 40 years for somebody really young. But my whole focus is, most people now in the stock market, the average person in the stock market is like 55, 54. They hold the majority of the stocks plus that age and up. They have the record wealth, they're close to retirement, or they are retired. The last thing they're going to want to do is lose half of their money and then not see it come back for potentially 5, 10, 16 years. I think there's a lot of unwinding. We'll see how it goes. Somebody made a really good comment on one of my YouTube videos yesterday saying, as long as we keep having a crisis to crisis, they're going to keep doing something to keep the markets going up. So there's that argument too. But overall, this could take a decade to recover from. And people are like, there's no way. People don't think it's even possible. They say I'm crazy, but usually what people are totally not thinking is going to happen is usually what the market does. So you need to be, not reactive, but you take advantage of these moves and follow the markets and make sure you're moving in and holding only the right assets that are going up and that are consistently, moving in the markets.
Chris is certain that gold could easily rise above $3,500 when institutional investors increase their allocation to the precious metal. However, he is not in the camp of gold bugs predicting massive 10x increases in the metal's price. Though Chris does not completely rule out the possibility of gold prices increasing to $20,000 or above, he explains that such huge increases in the metal's price will occur in the most terrible conditions. If a third world war broke out, for instance, tens of millions of investors in and out of the United States will be rushing to their local bullion dealers for safety. But that gold could and would go up dramatically during a period of crisis, either from a war or the complete collapse of the global economy, is enough reason for us to stack as much as we can now. Though nobody wants to see these events unfolding, it is only realistic to prepare for them, given how much damage our governments have done to our systems over the years. Please share your thoughts on Chris's interview in the comments section below. If you're yet to do so, also ensure you like this video and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Thanks for watching.